We've covered the Nova series from Huawei right from its offset, and with the Nova 4, the lineup has come far. We unboxed the phone over on IGTV, so if you haven't already followed us there, make sure to do so. But there's a lot to like about the phone, starting with how it looks. The glass finish with a gradient paint job in blue and purple is my favorite and makes the phone look different at almost any angle. The glass is grippy, and combined with the aluminium edges, the device is robust and comfortable in the hand at 172 grams and 7.8 millimeters thin. On the back, you also find a triple camera AI enabled setup with a bulge, which we'll get to in a bit, and a fingerprint scanner that's very accurate and reasonably quick. Otherwise, you can always rely on the face unlock feature, which is also good but isn't as secure as a 3D one, and sometimes it does struggle in low light. Speaking of the front, there's a 6.4-inch Full HD Plus display. At this resolution and size, the quality is pretty good with the slightest bit of pixelation, but it's not very obvious. It also gets fairly bright, however viewing angles and contrast could be better because at the end of the day this isn't an AMOLED panel. But I think the highlight of the phone is the screen's design. It's similar to Honor's View 20 we covered earlier, with the punch hole style notch and the full view display. For me, this is the ideal screen style until camera hardware truly goes under the screen. There's a lot of backlash to it, but for me it doesn't get in the way at all, and it's nicely tucked in the corner of the phone, so when you're watching content it doesn't bother you, and you get a true immersive look. One thing that is a bit of a drawback is the speaker. It doesn't sound full, and with its placement it is very easily muffled and covered. To compensate for this, you do find the conventional 3.5mm headphone jack, which is a bonus. Things like the IR blaster could also be useful, but I don't get why there's no NFC bundled in, even at this price point. It's been a recurring thing for me on many mid-range Huawei phones, and it still hasn't been addressed. Regardless, other hardware on the phone is actually pretty good, and that stems from the camera. As I mentioned, you've got 3 cameras at 20 megapixels, a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle one, and a 2 megapixel one for depth sensing. Being AI enabled and supporting night mode is also a good inclusion, but I suspect this is the older AI running off the Kirin 970 NPU from the pictures I've taken so far. Over on the front, you get an impressive 25 megapixel sensor in that small space, which drops in quality a bit when using portrait mode. I'll be putting the phone up against others in a similar price bracket to compare speeds and cameras, so do look out for those videos coming shortly. Otherwise, we've got the Kirin 970 octa-core processor at 2.4 GHz, which was deemed a flagship processor just last year, and 8 GB of RAM. With both of these, I've experienced no problems with usability, and topped off with the latest EMUI 9.0 and Android 9 Pie, this is as close to a flagship experience that you can get from Huawei, paying less than the typical flagship phone. The support for GPU Turbo with the Mali G72 MP12 also means smoother performance in games, so that's about it for the first look of the Nova 4. The 3750 mAh battery with quick charging also looks promising, and I'm excited to see how the AI from the cameras holds up. Let us know what videos you'd want to see with the Nova 4 in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.